Hello and welcome to another episode of The Points of Articulation. My name's Dave, and today we're looking at Baron Fell's Tie Interceptor. Now, when I started collecting these in 2008, I could not find a real Tie Interceptor, so this is all I could find, and that's where it ended, because I think Tie Interceptors now are like $30-something, and let's face it, I'm not paying $30-something for a 3-inch piece of metal. I love them, but I don't like them that much. So, who's Baron Fell? Well, Baron Fell is after Return of the Jedi, in the expanded universe, books and comics or whatever. Apparently he's like some hotshot Imperial pilot, and he's like really good, and he teams up with all the different like Imperial remnants, and I don't know, it's so much stuff. I can never really get into the expanded universe. The most I've ever gotten into anything outside of the films is basically Shadows of the Empire. You know, I read the book, I played the game. If they can make that an animated movie or whatever, I would so pay to see that or whatever. But anywho, let's get back to the review. So you know how we do it. I'm going to look at the mold, the paint, and then that'll be it. So let's get started. Okay, the mold for Baron Fell's Tie Interceptor is really nice. Some could say it might be lacking in paint, but I'll get to that when we go over the paint on it. But for the mold, it's nice. I'll start here at the wing. We have our paneling, little connector bits. At the tip, there's lasers, because it has 4 like an X-wing, each tip. A little spike here. I don't know if the real one has that. Once I find one, I'll let you guys know. The interior of the wing looks real good. The back of the ion engine is real nice. And this wing's the same. So at the bottom we have our 2 screws that hold it together, peg hole. And even this is detailed nice. Okay, for the front we have our seam line going right there where the 2 halves meet. And the window looks really nice. It's a translucent plastic, but it's painted nice, and those metal beams, what are supposed to be like supports for the glass, they're molded in. So that's cool. And the top of the TIE Fighter is molded nicely. The cockpit does not open on this one. And I really don't care, because sometimes those cockpits don't want to latch shut. So the fact that it's just one piece, I have no problem with that. And it looks cool. Like, I love this design. And I believe that does it for the mold. So let's get into the paint. Now, like I mentioned, the mold is great, but the paint, I feel it could have used a black wash or something. Like, I'm not familiar with his vessel in the comic books or novels or whatever, but it's a lighter blue, as opposed to the dark blue of the TIE Fighters. And then we have black for the paneling, and that's on all 4 sides of the wings, so that's cool. And then to distinguish Baron Fell's against the other in the fleet, his has a red or maroonish stripe going down sides. And I like that. When I saw this, I picked it up just because of that stripe. I didn't even know who Baron Fell was. Well, plus I needed one of these. But I saw that stripe and I went, ooh, that looks cool. So the lasers down here aren't painted in. The lasers here aren't painted in. But I guess, you know, in the movies they're not painted either, I guess. So, that's a pass. The engines aren't painted. Like, right here, on this side and this side, could have used a little dab of red. But, what are you going to do? The top of the cockpit is painted, so that's cool. Nice black windows. And here we have our metal support beams holding the window together, and that is painted black, and it's perfect. Like, there's no bleeding or nothing. And I really like that. And the color for the rest of the TIE Fighter is this just light sky blue. and it's good, don't get me wrong. I may be very nitpicky on this, but I do like it. Tie Interceptors are cool. And just like all other Star Wars Titaniums that are ships, we have our stand, put it right in the peg hole. And this one holds pretty well. And stands nice too. So before I end, let's measure this guy. A little over 2.5 inches for the width. Let me see here. Almost 2.5. So it's a nice size ship. Okay, so thank you for joining me today. This was Baron Fell's TIE Interceptor from the Star Wars Titanium line of die-cast ships. So hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.